Hello. Still trying to get this technology down here, folks. A little confusing, but I'm doing better. I think. I hope. I pray. Let's see here. Welcome. It's Monday, 420. That has a little extra meaning for me. I'm kind of a 420 kind of guy. But Viva la Jazz. Yeah, that's what we want to hear. I have some good stuff for you today. Some really good stuff. We just opened with my new opening theme, which I hope you dug. It's John Coltrane. What's new? This was a rather unusual a session for John Coltrane. The last tour that he made with Miles was either 59 or 60. Train had decided that he was going to leave the group. So Miles had scheduled this European tour. I think Norman Granz was the promoter. And Coltrane didn't want to go, didn't want to play. As a favor to Miles, he did it. Reportedly, he only went with no clothes, just a suit. He cleaned his underwear in the sink every night, I guess. I don't know what he did. But the recordings from that tour were just unbelievable. Coltrane just jumping off the edge of the planet. I'll have to put a link to that somewhere here. Anyway, in Germany, one day they decided they were going to shoot the band. And not shoot the band physically, but video the band. Actually film it at that time. And Miles never showed up for the session. So it was just Train and Wynton Kelly, Paul Chambers, and Jimmy Cobb. And so there's a couple of videos floating around. One is a Coltrane, one is with Coltrane and Stan Getz. And then there's this, which I took out of that one. And it seems like an open and an appropriate theme. What's new? Let's focus on the positive, because we know what's old. The news is old. No news today. What else is happening today? Well, I'm going to play another video from my last Sonny Rollins interview. This was last time that I was up at his house to shoot video after he decided to retire from performing because of some respiratory issues. We talked about a number of things, including Dizzy Gillespie, one of my early idols. Let's see, Dizzy Gillespie, Grover Washington Jr., kind of interesting. Norman Granz, and Sonny has other things to say that I think you'll find really interesting. And then I'm going to jump over to some new music. A guy named Mike Casey, an excellent alto player from Connecticut, has a new release and some video, which includes one of my favorite pianists, Benito Gonzales, who's a fiery keyboardist, as you'll see from this video. We're going to have that, and I hope to have Mike on the show soon, once we get the Skype thing hooked up, which I'm very close to. And then the last video we're going to be looking at is a rare video of Les McCann. Les McCann is a pianist you may or may not know. His greatest claim to fame was the infamous Swiss Movement recording, an incredible Montreux Jazz Festival live set with Eddie Harris, where they were just put together. They didn't even practice. They didn't even play together, and they made magic. Well, that's not what we're going to listen to today. We're going to listen to a little bit of the Les McCann Trio to give you a little taste of Les. And I hope you'll find that more or less is not less, if that makes sense. So let us go with Mr. Rollins.
I met Dizzy at a place called the Rockland Palace. The Rockland Palace was an emporium which was owned by a religious figure in Harlem by the name of Father Divine. They had functions and dances and musical shows and everything. I was playing. I forgot what the situation was. See, I like to say was instead of was. I used to say was, but I'm trying to be erudite now, so I'm saying was, okay? First time Dizzy and I was playing, I was playing the great Dizzy Gillespie, and Dizzy made a joke about my shoes or something, so that was my first introduction to Dizzy Gillespie. But, of course, he's a huge demigod, to me then and always. He's great. And when he, as I mentioned before with Don Byes, those records, that's when Dizzy was first coming out. People were beginning to hear about Dizzy Gillespie. And those were some of his early records, maybe before he played with Charlie Parker, I'm not sure. He was always an exciting, inspirational figure to all of us. I had his pictures in my scrapbook. Strange scrapbook, I had that Don Byes picture in, and others. I remember that picture when he was sort of smiling and he was laughing, he had his horn. And Dizzy's sort of a humorous type of personality, which was good because the music needed to be popularized a little bit by the convention of the day, which was to be more amiable and friendly to the outside world, as a jazz musician. Say, like the image that Louis Armstrong had projected. And so Dizzy having that kind of personality was good. It was very good for the bebop movement, which was taking hold. In those days, Dizzy was playing, this stuff he was playing was fantastic. Some close friends of mine, also music aficionados, they were talking, these guys lived and died music. They knew all about everybody, every note anybody played. And so there was a discussion outside of Minton's Playhouse, since you mentioned Minton's. And they were talking about Fats Navarro, who was a great, great trumpet player. Great. And so guys are saying, oh man, Fats is better than Dizzy, man. Fats is, wow, boy, I heard Fats play. So Fats said, no man, he said, Dizzy Gillespie is the guy. Sometimes it's not so much, this is a difficult concept when you're just a listener. You're listening, you want to hear, oh wow, listen to what that, but sometimes it's the whole gravitas involved in the person. It's not just what he's playing, it's what he's playing first, but it's also who he is, how much he inspires everybody to play. That comes in there. This is a very argumentative point because I don't think we have time to go into that. This will be another session, but I always believe that there is something else besides. In other words, if you go to see a guy, Coleman Hawkins, for instance, and you may say, oh, gee, he didn't sound that good. Well, he didn't have to sound that good that particular night. What he did made everything else sound good. He was bigger than his solo that night, or his performance that night. Now, being a performer myself, this might sound like I'm trying to give myself a break here, but it's nevertheless, if you agree or you don't agree, but that's my feeling. It has nothing to do with me. I just feel that people like that have done so much to make the whole music world revolve, to just put them and say, oh gee, I like Fats Navarro. Wow, I heard him play something great that night. Boy, he sounded better than this. You see, to me, that's not the whole story. But, that's argumentative. People can argue that point, and we can at another time.
The recording the three of you did in 1957 together was a landmark. Do you remember that session?
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you for that. Well, I can't thank you. It wasn't me. It was Dizzy's. Norman Granz was the producer of that record. And Norman Granz, being in this business, you get pro this guy or anti this guy, or anybody concerned with the business he's going to have supporters or denouncers, okay? So I've heard people denounce Norman Granz all the time. Not me. I like Norman Granz a lot. And Norman Granz, well, he liked me a lot, so maybe that's why I liked him. But no, I don't think so. I liked the first thing, Jazz and Philharmonic. I don't care what to present Jazz and Philharmonic. The whole thing was just gave guys a chance to a good venue for what, I mean, nobody's perfect. Oscar Peterson named his son Norman after Norman Granz. You know that? Yeah, so you know how closely he must have felt to him. And, but anyway, back to this session. So Norman Granz was there. So yeah, it was okay. I mean, I'm never satisfied with my own work, so I'm not can't jump up and down about it. But there were some interesting things on there.
Yeah. Some people say that on that session, Sonny Stitt inspired you to play better. That in a situation where you are with another sax player like that, both of you play in a different kind of way. And you also made a recording, kind of happened by accident, called Tenor Madness, where you and John played together. But you really haven't, in your discography, correct me if I'm wrong, played with other sax players like that. Why is that?
Because I'm afraid of getting beat up. What do you think of him? A dope?
Well, I heard you in a concert in the 70s, late 70s at Town Hall with Grover Washington Jr. Remember that concert?
You remember that?
That was a great concert. Of course, you played very well, but I thought played better than I'd ever heard him play that night. I mean, he was just...
You played better than me, right?
No.
See?
There's no better
that's why I don't have to do a playing with other people, see? No, that's great. The one thing about that concert with Grover is that we didn't play together. And that's the one, did we play together?
Yeah.
We did?
Yes.
Oh, okay, well that's great. I thought we didn't play together because Grover is a beautiful, he's just a great, gifted musician. Grover really has that touch, common touch with people relate to. He's got it. And he's a great player, and as well as being a beautiful human being, which means to me a great deal also. But as a musician, he was really, he had that thing which, enormously successful. But one thing about Grover, he always wanted to play more jazz. What he was playing was sort of funk or whatever you might call it, which he was naturally just gifted at. But he wanted to be more jazz. Every time I'd see Grover, we'd say, "Oh, Sonny, did you hear that record? How did that sound? Did they have?" He always wanted to emphasize his jazz chops. But anyway, he's one of my favorite musicians and human beings. He's a beautiful person.
Yeah, Sonny. Wow. When I used to sit with him, I used to have so many questions. And we did, over the course of, I guess it was like 10 or 11 years that I was working with him. I was producing his website initially and then doing video. We did a lot of interviews. They're here on the web. You can look at them on YouTube. And we covered a lot of aspects of his life, musical and spiritual, because Sonny Rollins is a really spiritual guy. Certainly, I think that's helping him in this phase of his life that he's in now, where he's closer to the end than the beginning, certainly. No doubt about that. And that sound, oh my God. Anyway, Sonny Rollins, a spiritual guy. At this point in his life, it's something for him to help him I don't know what faster and higher means. Faster and higher. Is that like a legal firm, Faster and Higher and Associates? I don't know. You gotta be a little more specific, my friend. Okay. So Sonny Rollins, latter part of his life, very spiritual. He's a Buddhist. And he believes in reincarnation, that in this life you get a chance to clean up your karma and hopefully in this life you will get to a better place so that in the next life perhaps you'll be in a better place. I don't know. No one knows what happens after we leave, right? I don't know. I certainly feel very lucky to know Sonny Rollins and work with him. And I've been very lucky to know many other jazz musicians as well. But as you can see, Sonny was really cool. And of course, incredible music. There's many recordings in the Sonny Rollins library, personal library, Sonny Rollins archives of live gigs that he played, I guess the last maybe 15 years. They were recorded. and they're kind of sitting there waiting to be released. I don't know when that's going to happen, but some of them are available on SugarMegs, sugarmegs.org, that website that I wanted to turn you on to. Well, we have more Sonny coming this week. Every day this week we'll be playing some Sonny Rollins clips. That one I spent a little bit extra time, put in some video, some stills and some music. Some of the other ones are different. Let me see, I'll tell you here. Let me look here. We've got, we did one about Charles Mingus. He talks about jazz musicians moving to Europe, which happened a lot in the 50s. In particular, we were thinking about Don Byas and Dexter Gordon and Johnny Griffin, who moved to Europe. And yes, I think these will be released, definitely. And then Sonny, with a little video we call Jazz Man of the Future. So there's more Sonny Rollins coming, and I'm happy to share it with you. And I'm not sure at this point when these videos are going to actually be posted on YouTube, so you guys are getting the first-hand look at this here, Mr. Rollins. Let's see. Anybody got any questions here regarding Mr. Rollins that I can answer here before we go on to the next? Yes, he did. You know, he was funny. He was a very funny guy, a very serious guy too. I mean, he is. I shouldn't put him in the past tense. I no longer work with him. No more need for my services. And he's kind of a solitary guy. I haven't spoken to him in like 3 years. I mean, he keeps his circle of very small. You know, his publicist, Terry Henty, he's very close to, and his nephew, Clifton Anderson. And Sonny's best friend, unfortunately, passed a couple months ago, Jimmy Heath, who was a dear friend of mine as well. Sonny and Jimmy used to talk like just about every day. And I know that that has been difficult for him, I'm sure, because you lose your friends as we age. Sonny's going to be 90 in September. Wow, 90, yeah. But he lives in a beautiful place. He has people come in and take care of him. Jack DeJohnette and his wife Lydia live nearby. They check in on him, and he's okay. He's okay. Now, something entirely new, a new guy that you guys probably don't know. You may have heard of him on the periphery here. He's on YouTube. He was here's a question here. Mutton asks, does he play any other instruments now that he can't play the sax? You know, that's a good question. No, he's got a piano. I don't know if he's playing it. At one point, he seemed to have an interest in that. I don't know. You know, when you're 89 years old, you certainly don't want to learn something new. I've been flirting with learning Chinese for about 10 years here. And it's hard. It's hard to pick up something like that. It really is. But I don't know what he's doing. I know he's enjoying the spring in Woodstock because it's a beautiful place in springtime. Okay. Enough of Sonny. More of Sonny tomorrow. And Mike Casey. Mike Casey is a young saxophonist from Connecticut. Mike studied with Javon Jackson and a number of people at the Jackie McLean Institute at the Hart College of Music in West Hartford, Connecticut. Just happened to be my hometown is located there. And Mike's playing really impressed me. I heard some recordings, saw some video, and now he has a new recording that I'll talk about in a second. But before I do that, we have a comment here that needs translation. Wo, hua, shuo, tu peng hua. I hope that's not like a Chinese obscenity or Brett, you're certainly one of the most attractive men. No, wait a minute. No. I got a girlfriend. I don't need. I don't need that anymore. I don't know what it means, but I'd like to know. I don't know if I have to bring it into Google Translate. That's one of the fantastic things about Google Translate. You can punch stuff up in there and get a quick translation. But I got a little too much going on here right now, so no translation. And what I'm going to do is bring you Mr. Mike Casey, No Church in the Wind. And then we'll talk about this one. Okay, wow, Mike Casey with Benito Gonzales on piano. Yeah, Benito's an excellent pianist. Man, I love his playing. Very intense. Plays with Pharoah Sanders. I heard him on a session that I was at with Eric Wyatt, who's an excellent tenor player. He played on there. That was fantastic. And so we got some mixed feelings here about the music. Some people like the groove. Some people like the train-like feel. And some people said he's trying too hard. What was that comment there? Let's see. Sometimes less is more. Okay. Music, sorry, just feel they're trying a bit too hard. Some people like one thing, some people like another. Some people like Kenny G, other people like Albert Ayler. I mean, wide spectrum here. This type of music is something that really speaks to me, really reaches out to me. Just a certain groove, a certain vibration, a certain intensity that it's definitely coming out of Train. There's no doubt about that. That music that the Coltrane Quartet created, and Benito is coming out of McCoy, so that's not very surprising. Okay. Ben says, I agree. It felt like noisy voicing. Okay. Let's see. What else we got here? Send me your opinions. Normalized Audio says, I dig it. Jimmy Mullen had a lot of feeling. All felt natural. Yeah, I thought so. It worked for me. Muhammad Ali liked Albert Ayler. I don't know about that. I'm not sure about Muhammad Ali and his connection to jazz. Maybe some people know. I just don't. I know that Sugar Ray Robinson was a huge jazz fan. He used to hang out at jazz clubs. And really friendly with many jazz musicians. I don't know about Muhammad Ali, a man that I have really the utmost respect and admiration for. I'm a huge Muhammad Ali fan and always have been. Anyone who's willing to put their life on the line for what they believe in, like he did in the mid-'60s when he lost his heavyweight title because he was a conscientious objector and wouldn't go to Vietnam. 5 years out of the 5 best years out of his fighting career. Wow, Muhammad Ali. Well, let's see what else we got here. Any more comments here on? They did fine as for the style. Right, that's a certain style of jazz, and jazz is a music of many different types of sounds. It's very personal. Yep. I like this comment. Jazz is such a personal trip and you want to scream it out sometimes. It's a culmination of years of dedicated sacrifice. Could have watched TV instead of practice. That's right. It takes a certain kind of person to play jazz. And it's not for the common person to listen to. Although I know in the right situation, anybody can dig jazz, seeing it live, because there's something about it that really grabs you. I once had an experience where I took someone to see the Keith Jarrett Quartet. This is in the early 70s, when they were playing pretty outside for most people. And a friend of mine was just into rock. He decided, I'm going to come along and check it out. It grabbed him. He went and bought the record the next day. So it can do that. It has that kind of power. The kind of power that reaches new people, the kind of power that inspires us, the kind of power that makes us feel better when we're down, makes us higher, fun to listen to with our friends, fantastic live. I'm a jazz listener, and I have been for many, many years. I will be till my livelong days expire here on the planet Earth. Here's an interesting comment. It says, have you ever read Kazuzo Ishiguro's book of short stories, Nocturnes, about musicians? You know, I haven't, Troy, but I will definitely check it out. Sounds interesting. I will definitely check it out, yeah. Now, let's see. I have a request. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I need to test out the Skype video chat aspect of the software. So I am thinking that I need your help, okay? I need some people to talk to. I would like to do this tomorrow. Yes, this is very true. Jazz is the sound of surprise. That was something that a jazz critic named Whitney Balliet wrote in the New Yorker in the 60s. I think he had a book by that title as well. And it is surprise. So I need your help. I need you guys to participate in this. I want to bring you here with me as part of this. I want to have like some other people on the screen here. We'll talk. But I need to test out the software. So what I need for you to do is to either contact me via Skype. Jazz Video Guy is my name on Skype. Or email me your FaceTime number so I can call you on FaceTime. Email me at jazzvideoguy@gmail.com. Once again, jazzvideoguy@gmail.com. I'm sorry I don't have the title on the screen here. I could do that, but not at the second. Oh, let me see here. Let me show you. Let me put this up here quickly. I could do this. jazzvideoguy@gmail.com. Boom. Okay. How's that? So, once again, would like to have you participate. We're bringing in Skype. I'm bringing in iPhone or FaceTime calls. I need you to send me your... I need you to contact me on Skype. Send me an invitation to talk. And I'm Jazz Video Guy. And also send me your FaceTime number. I can call you on. So we'll do this tomorrow at noon Pacific time. And that's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you, Paul, for your stuff, for your wonderful comments here. Greatly appreciate that. And now it's time for me to go back to my woodshed, work on the software some more. And I'm going to close out today with some Les McCann. This is a rare live performance of the Les McCann Trio from the early 60s. I hope you'll dig it. In between the tracks, there's some black, but he talks, but the video comes back on. So here is Mr. Les McCann. He will be coming up here momentarily. Oh, I should have edited this video. My apologies. Patience. Patience. Patience, please.
Thank you very much. We'd like to do a ballad, I'll Remember April.
Okay, this has been Jazz Video Guy Live for April 20th, 2020. It's been fun today. Hope you dug the music, you dug the video. I'll be back again tomorrow, same time, same place. And please, once again, I need your participation. So if you're on Skype, send me a request, a friend request, Jazz Video Guy at on Skype, just Jazz Video Guy. Or if you want to be on FaceTime, let me know your FaceTime number. Blessings, stay healthy, stay safe, and tell your friends.